Something changed 3 weeks ago. You felt it before you could name it. Maybe it started with sleep. You began waking at 3 in the morning, heart racing, no reason why. Or maybe it was the dreams. Dark ones, heavy ones. Dreams where someone you know appears again and again, always watching, always close. You told yourself it was stress. You tried to brush it off. But it kept happening. Then the exhaustion came. Not the kind that rest can fix. This was different. You could sleep for 10 hours and still wake up drained, like something pulled the life out of you while you were under. And there was something else. A feeling. A heaviness in your chest when you thought about a specific person. Someone you used to be close to. Someone who hurt you. Someone who still thinks about you, even now. You tried to explain it away. You told yourself you were overthinking. You said it was anxiety, or grief, or just bad luck. But deep down you knew. This wasn't random. This wasn't in your head. Something was happening to you. Something unseen. Something deliberate. You are not imagining this. Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, the man who could see into the unseen while in trance, spoke about this more than most people realize. He was not a superstitious man. He was not drawn to drama or fear. He was a Christian, a Sunday school teacher, a man who wanted nothing more than to help people heal. But over and over, in his readings, he encountered something he could not ignore. He saw people under attack. Not physical attack. Spiritual attack. Energetic attack. Psychic attack. And he learned how to stop it. Cayce did not believe in curses the way folklore describes them. He did not think someone could control you with a spell or a ritual unless you gave them access. He understood something most people miss. Spiritual attack is not magic. It is energy. It is intention. It is focus. And it only works when there is resonance. It only works when there is an open door. Think of it like a radio. A station can broadcast all day long, but you will not hear it unless your dial is turned to that frequency. Someone can send anger, jealousy, obsession, or hate toward you, but it cannot touch you unless some part of you is tuned to receive it. That part might be fear. It might be guilt. It might be unhealed love. It might be a wound you never closed. But that is the door. And once you know where the door is, you can close it. This is not about their power. This is about your vulnerability. Cayce saw this clearly in the readings he gave. A woman came to him once, complaining of nightmares and sudden panic. She had no history of anxiety. She was healthy. But for weeks, she had been waking in terror, feeling watched, feeling hunted. Cayce went into trance and saw the truth. Her former mother-in-law, still alive, still bitter over the divorce, was obsessing over her. Every night, this woman replayed the anger, the rejection, the loss. She did not mean to send harm. She did not even know she was doing it. But her rage was so focused, so repetitive, that it became a beam. And because the younger woman still carried guilt over the divorce, the beam found her. Cayce told her what to do. He told her to release the guilt, to forgive herself, to close the door in her mind. She did. Within days, the nightmares stopped. The attacker did not stop hating. But the attack no longer landed. That is the law. The attack is nothing without the wound. Cayce worked with a man once who ran a business. This man had a partner who smiled to his face and undermined him behind his back. The partner wanted control. He wanted the man gone. And slowly, the man began to fall apart. He could not think clearly. He made mistakes he never used to make. His confidence drained. His health suffered. He came to Cayce desperate, convinced he was losing his mind. Cayce saw what was happening. The partner was not casting spells. He was projecting hatred. Every day, in his mind, he imagined the man failing. He imagined him gone. He fed that image with emotion, with focus, with desire. And because the man respected his partner, because some part of him still wanted the partnership to work, he was open. He was receiving the projection without knowing it. Cayce told him to cut the cord, to stop hoping for the partnership, to release the need for approval, to see the partner clearly, without illusion. The man did. Within 2 weeks, his clarity returned. His health stabilized. The partner eventually left the business, but by then, the man no longer cared. The attack lost its target. So how do you know if this is happening to you? How do you know if what you are feeling is your own energy or someone else's? Cayce gave signs. 5 of them. 5 patterns that show up again and again when someone is under spiritual attack. If you recognize even 2 of these, you need to pay attention. If you recognize 4 or 5, you are not paranoid. You are under siege. The first sign is sudden emotional collapse. You were fine. You were stable. Then, out of nowhere, you fall apart. It is not sadness. It is not grief. It is heavier than that. It feels like despair dropped on you from the outside. You cannot trace it to a thought or a memory. It just appeared. And when you try to fight it, it gets worse. This is not depression. Depression builds slowly. This hits like a wave. Cayce said this happens when someone sends a strong emotion toward you, jealousy, rage, or grief, and it lands in your field before your mind can block it. You are not crazy. You are being broadcast to. The second sign is waking at 3 in the morning in terror. Not just waking up. Waking in panic. Heart pounding. Body frozen. Mind racing. You look around the room and feel like something is there, even though nothing is. You feel watched. You feel hunted. This is not anxiety. Anxiety does not choose a time. This happens at the same hour, again and again. Cayce said the hours between 2 and 4 in the morning are when the veil is thinnest. When the conscious mind is asleep, the subconscious is exposed. If someone is obsessing over you, if someone is sending hate or fear or longing toward you, this is when it reaches you. You are not imagining the presence. You are feeling the projection. Cayce worked with a young woman who woke every night at 3:15 for 2 months. She felt a weight on her chest. She felt like she could not breathe. She thought she was dying. Doctors found nothing. Cayce went into trance and saw her ex-boyfriend. He had not moved on. Every night, he replayed their relationship in his mind. He imagined her coming back. He sent longing, need, and anger toward her, all mixed together. It reached her in sleep, because that was when her guard was down. Cayce told her to speak to him, not in person, but in her mind. To say clearly, I release you. I do not belong to you. Go in peace. She did this before bed for 3 nights. On the 4th night, she slept through. The boyfriend never knew. But the cord was cut. The 3rd sign is total energy drain around one specific person. You feel fine until you see them, talk to them, or even think about them. Then, suddenly, you are exhausted. Your body feels heavy. Your mind feels slow. You want to leave. You want to sleep. This is not dislike. Dislike makes you tense. This makes you empty. Cayce called this psychic vampirism. It happens when someone unconsciously pulls energy from others to fill their own emptiness. They do not mean to harm you. They are just hungry. But the effect is the same. You are being drained. Cayce described a woman who felt fine all day until her sister called. Every time they spoke, the woman would need to lie down afterward. She thought she was sick. Cayce saw the truth. The sister was depressed, lost, and desperate. She did not know how to generate her own energy, so she pulled it from the people closest to her. The woman loved her sister, so she stayed open. That openness became a leak. Cayce told her to imagine a glass wall between them during calls. To listen with love, but not absorb. To stay separate. She practiced this. The next call, she felt tired, but not destroyed. The call after that, she felt nothing. The sister continued to struggle, but the woman was no longer fuel for it. You can love someone and still protect yourself. The fourth sign is repeating symbols in dreams or waking life. You keep seeing the same animal, the same number, the same color, the same object. It shows up in dreams. It shows up in your day. You start to notice it everywhere. At first, it feels like coincidence. Then it feels like a message. Then it feels like a warning. Cayce said symbols are the language of the subconscious. When something is trying to reach you, when something is trying to break through your conscious defenses, it will use symbols. If the symbol feels dark, heavy, or threatening, it is not guidance. It is intrusion. Cayce worked with a man who kept dreaming of blackbirds, crows, ravens. They filled his dreams. They perched on his shoulders. They followed him in waking life. He saw them on his way to work. He saw them outside his window. He thought it was a sign from God. Cayce said no. It was a sign from his business rival. The rival hated him. The rival imagined his failure every day. That hatred took the shape of blackbirds in the man's subconscious, because that was how his mind translated the attack. Cayce told him to reclaim the symbol, to imagine the birds turning white, to see them fly away, to refuse the meaning they carried. The man did this every night before sleep. Within a week, the dreams stopped. Within 2 weeks, he stopped seeing the birds. The rival still hated him. But the message no longer landed. Symbols only have the power you give them. The fifth sign is your intuition screaming at you about someone, but you cannot explain why. You have no proof. You have no evidence. But every time you think about this person, something in you recoils. You feel warned. You feel danger. You tell yourself you are being unfair. You tell yourself you are judging them. But the feeling does not go away. It gets louder. Cayce said this is not paranoia. This is recognition. Your subconscious sees what your conscious mind refuses to accept. It sees intention. It sees energy. It sees threat. And it is trying to protect you. Cayce worked with a woman who felt this way about her neighbor. The neighbor was kind. The neighbor smiled. The neighbor brought food. But every time the woman saw her, she felt cold. She felt watched. She felt wrong. She ignored it for months. Then small things started happening. Items went missing. Her dog got sick. Her plants died. Nothing she could prove. But the pattern was there. Cayce confirmed her intuition. The neighbor envied her. The neighbor resented her happiness, her marriage, her peace. She did not curse her in the traditional sense, but she wished her harm. She imagined her suffering. And because the woman had ignored her intuition, because she had stayed polite and open, the harm found a way in. Cayce told her to trust what she felt, to stop engaging, to bless the neighbor from a distance and seal her space. She did. The neighbor moved away 6 months later. But by then, the woman was untouchable. Your intuition is not cruel. It is precise. Now you know the signs. You know what to look for. But knowing is not enough. You have to understand how this works. You have to understand why some people attract attack and others do not. You have to understand the law. Spiritual attack is not random. It does not strike without reason. It follows resonance. It follows openness. It follows wounds that have not healed. Think of your energy field like a house. If the doors are locked, if the windows are sealed, nothing can get in. But if you leave a door open, even a crack, something can slip through. That open door is not weakness. It is not failure. It is unfinished business. It is guilt you have not released. It is love you have not let go of. It is anger you are still holding. It is fear you have not faced. The person attacking you is not powerful. They are simply focused. And their focus found the one place you left unguarded. Cayce saw this over and over. The people who came to him under attack were not weak. They were kind. They were sensitive. They were open-hearted. And that openness, when combined with an unhealed wound, became a doorway. But here is the truth most people miss. Most attackers do not even know they are attacking. They are not sitting in a dark room casting spells. They are sitting in their living room, replaying a conversation, imagining revenge, feeding resentment, wishing you would fail. They think it is just a thought. They think it is harmless. But thought is energy. Emotion is energy. Sustained focus is energy. And energy moves. Cayce said it clearly. Sustained resentment is witchcraft. You do not need a ritual. You do not need a candle or a chant. All you need is hatred and repetition. If someone thinks about you every day with anger, if they imagine your downfall, if they obsess over what you did or who you are, they are sending a beam. And if you still care what they think, if you still feel guilty, if you still wish things were different, that beam will find you. This is why forgiveness is not optional. Forgiveness is not for them. It is for you. It closes the door. So what do you do? How do you stop this? How do you break free? Cayce gave a protocol. He did not call it a ritual, but that is what it was. A series of steps, done in order, that break the connection and restore your sovereignty. This is not magic. This is mechanics. This is how energy works. Step 1 is recognition. You have to name what is happening. You have to stop pretending it is nothing. You have to say out loud or in writing, I am under attack. I feel it. I know it. This is not my imagination. This is real. The moment you name it, you take power back. You stop being a victim. You become a witness. Step 2 is reclaiming. You call your energy back. You imagine every piece of yourself that you gave away, every part of you that is still tangled with the person attacking you, and you pull it home. You say, I take back my energy. I take back my power. I take back my peace. You imagine it returning to you like light, like water, like breath. You do this until you feel full again. Step 3 is sealing. You close the door. You imagine a boundary around yourself, a circle, a wall, a shield of light. You make it solid. You make it real in your mind. And you say, nothing enters here without my permission. I am sealed. I am protected. I am sovereign. This is not about fear. This is about clarity. You are not hiding. You are choosing who gets access. Step 4 is forgiveness. Not because they deserve it, because you do. You say, I release you. I forgive you. Not for your sake, but for mine. I will not carry this anymore. You do not have to feel it. You just have to mean it. Forgiveness is a frequency shift. It moves you out of range. The person can still hate you, but the hate no longer lands. You are no longer on that channel. Step 5 is joy. You reclaim your emotional state. You do something that raises your vibration. You laugh. You play music. You move your body. You think of something you love. Joy is the highest protection. It is not a mask. It is a frequency. When you are in joy, you are unreachable. Attack can only land in fear, guilt, or grief. It cannot land in joy. Do this protocol once a day for 7 days. If the attack is strong, do it twice a day. You will feel the shift. You will feel lighter. You will feel clear. The person may still think about you. They may still wish you harm. But it will not reach you anymore. You will be free. Cayce worked with a man who was being attacked by his own brother. The brother envied everything he had. His success, his marriage, his peace. The brother did not speak to him, but he thought about him constantly. He imagined him failing. He imagined him losing everything. And slowly, the man began to fall apart. His health declined. His business struggled. His marriage felt strained. He came to Cayce broken. Cayce saw the brother. He saw the projection. He saw the beam. And he gave the man the protocol. The man followed it exactly. For 7 days he named the attack. He called his energy back. He sealed his space. He forgave his brother. He reclaimed joy. On the 8th day, he woke up and felt like himself again. The cloud was gone. The weight was gone. His health returned. His business stabilized. His marriage softened. The brother never stopped hating him. But the hate no longer mattered. That is the power of sovereignty. Now, some of you are wondering, what if the attacker is someone I love? What if it is my mother, my partner, my child? Can I still protect myself? Can I still seal the door? Yes, you must. Love does not mean access. Love does not mean you have to stay open to harm. You can love someone deeply and still refuse to absorb their pain, their rage, their chaos. You can hold space for someone without becoming their dumping ground. You can care for someone without letting them drain you. Cayce was clear about this. He said boundaries are not walls. Boundaries are clarity. They are not about shutting people out. They are about knowing where you end and they begin. When you stay open to everyone, you help no one. You become too depleted to hold your own light, let alone share it. If someone you love is unconsciously attacking you, you do not have to confront them. You do not have to explain. You do not have to accuse. You simply do the protocol. You seal your space. You stop absorbing. You stay in love, but from a place of strength, not sacrifice. This is not selfish. This is necessary. And here is something else Cayce understood that most people miss. If you are under spiritual attack, it means something in you is waking up. It means you are shifting. It means you are stepping into a frequency that threatens the old order, the old you, the old agreements. Attacks do not come randomly. They come when you are on the edge of transformation. They come when you are about to break free. The people who attack you are not stronger than you. They are frightened by you. They sense your light, even if they do not understand it. And their fear expresses itself as hatred, as obsession, as control. But it is not about you. It is about them. You are simply a mirror showing them what they refuse to face in themselves. So if you are under attack right now, if you feel the weight, if you see the signs, know this. You are not being punished. You are being initiated. You are not being torn down. You are being refined. The pressure you feel is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to awaken you. And once you learn how to stand in your sovereignty, once you learn how to seal your space and reclaim your power, you will be untouchable. Not because nothing will ever come for you again, but because nothing will land. Cayce saw this in every person who came to him under attack and learned to protect themselves. They did not just survive. They transformed. They became stronger, clearer, more aligned. The attack was the catalyst. The pain was the initiation. And the protection they built became the foundation for everything that came after. You are not a victim. You never were. You are a sovereign being who forgot, for a moment, how powerful you are. The attack is simply reminding you. It is asking you to remember. It is pushing you to reclaim what was always yours. So stand up. Name what is happening. Call your energy back. Seal your space. Forgive the ones who tried to take you down. And choose joy. Choose peace. Choose clarity. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are done letting anything outside of you decide how you feel, You were never meant to be controlled. You were never meant to absorb the pain, the rage, the fear of others. You were meant to be a light, clear and steady, untouched by the chaos around you. And the moment you choose that, the moment you step into that knowing, the attack ends. Not because the attacker stops, but because you are no longer available. Cayce taught that the spiritual path is not about avoiding darkness. It is about becoming so full of light that darkness cannot find a place to land. It is about standing so firmly in your truth that lies cannot take root. It is about loving so completely from a place of wholeness that you do not need to sacrifice yourself to prove it. That is freedom. That is sovereignty. That is protection. And it has been yours all on dot. So if you have felt watched, if you have felt drained, if you have felt under siege, stop questioning yourself. Stop dismissing what you know. You are not crazy. You are not paranoid. You are awake. And now you know what to do. Recognize the attack. Reclaim your power. Seal your space. Forgive without losing yourself. And return to joy. Do this every day until the weight lifts. And it will lift. Because you are not at the mercy of anyone's thoughts, anyone's hatred, anyone's fear. You are at the mercy of your own choices. And you are choosing freedom. Cayce said that no one can hold power over you unless you give it to them. No one can drain you unless you stay open. No one can attack you unless you resonate. And the moment you stop resonating with fear, guilt, or grief, the moment you choose peace, the attack dissolves. Not because it was never real, but because you are no longer a match for it. You are a match for love. You are a match for light. You are a match for sovereignty. And that is where you will stay. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning. The part where you stop being moved by forces outside of you and start standing in the truth of who you are. The part where you stop asking permission and start claiming your space. The part where you stop defending yourself and start being yourself. Fully, unapologetically, powerfully. The ones who tried to tear you down did not succeed. They only revealed how strong you already were. And now that you see it, now that you know it, nothing will ever shake you the same way again. You are under spiritual attack because you are worth attacking. Because your light matters. Because your freedom threatens the systems that tried to keep you small. But you are not small. You never were. You were just learning how big you really are. And now you know. Stand in that knowing. Seal your space. Reclaim your power. And walk forward untouchable, unshaken, and absolutely free. That is the teaching. That is the truth. That is the way. And you have everything you need to live it.